Podcast 1, How to Visit Spiritual Dimensions. In this episode, we will talk about the power of emotions and the law of attraction, interdimensional travel, and spiritual experiences. Have a great time!
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca. Today, we're embarking on a journey into the deepest, most mysterious corners of our minds. We'll try to understand how consciousness, the soul, and dimensions are interconnected. But first, let's warm up our minds before we begin this journey. Get ready, because here are 4 questions to make you think. Is what we see and hear with our eyes and ears the only reality? Or are our senses just an interface that limits us, like a character in a video game who can only perceive the virtual world around them? What if, like in the movie The Matrix, the world we live in is actually just a virtual simulation, and our real body exists somewhere else, in another dimension? What if we are the ones writing the script of our lives? What if everything from the scent of a flower to the food we eat is a reflection of our emotions? In the movie Terminator, they said, "The future is not yet written." But what if our future is already written, and we are just trying to remember that script as we move through time? But if the future is already written, then why do we spend so much time watching funny videos of robots? Yes. With these thought-provoking and perhaps slightly funny questions, we're opening the door to today's topic. This episode is a guide to understanding what the spiritual dimensions are like. And now, Brian will be with us for this part of our podcast. Mr. Brian, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was a great start. Your questions definitely increased our motivation to listen. I'm sure our listeners are curious about the answers. If you're ready, I'll try to explain what the spiritual dimensions are like. Before we talk about spiritual dimensions, let's all take a look at what the world of souls is. I hope I can easily connect these concepts. When I say the world of souls, we can imagine a void divided into 2 parts with many lower and upper layers. I know this can be difficult to explain or imagine, like trying to explain to someone how Robopop's consciousness was integrated into a machine. Even though they sound like different names, concepts like astral dimensions, spiritual dimensions, or the spirit world all lead to the same place. We can think of this spirit world as a large void divided into 2, a positive and a negative part. I personally call the dimensions where negative entities reside hell, and those of positive entities heaven, or more accurately, the source or light. Believe me, you may have visited these dimensions, even if you didn't mean to. I'm talking about people who are interested in meditation or in a process of spiritual awakening. The third dimension, our perception of reality. Let's start from the basics for those who are new to this topic. We are 3-dimensional beings. Everything we perceive with our senses belongs to this dimension. Everything we see, hear, taste, smell, and touch is real because our consciousness is programmed to be in tune with this world. If we smell a flower, its scent is real to us. Just like the virtual girlfriend in the movie Blade Runner 2049 was real. We accept everything we perceive as real. So, if we have a mechanism that perceives everything around us, we can also say we have a consciousness that perceives this world and knows its rules and limits. This consciousness is our mechanism, and our body is the machine it controls. We've been taught to look at this world with limited movements, limited thoughts, and a limited thought system. Or perhaps without us realizing it, these codes have been copied into our consciousness. This is a form of programming. That's why you don't easily ask yourself, can I think in other ways? The 4th dimension, and the power of emotions. Now let's slowly get to the 4th dimension. In the 4th dimension, we understand that there's a soul inside our body, and this soul's software is made of code. Every code has an energy, and every energy has a frequency. So we can ask the question, where is this soul inside our body connected to, and where does it get its energy from? The source of this soul is the world of souls. Our soul is the software that gives life to our body and includes the codes of algorithms and dynamics. The source of these dynamics is our emotions. Our emotions are a form of energy. We determine the events we experience, the people we meet, and every single experience through our emotions. This is almost identical to the famous law of attraction. In other words, we draw the line of our lives ourselves. We can divide these emotions into positive and negative. Positive emotions make our lives enjoyable and successful, while negative ones can cause the opposite experience. Interdimensional travel. The source of positive emotions is the higher dimensions. These are the areas where spiritual beings who have completed their experiences on Earth and reached a higher consciousness reside. When our consciousness visits the higher dimensions, it opens doors to interdimensional travel, and we begin to travel through colorful tunnels, just like in the movie Doctor Strange. This is my personal experience. It can differ with every meditation. Sometimes a sun-like light illuminates you, while other times you might descend into the lower dimensions through a dark tunnel. This situation is entirely dependent on the records in your subconscious and your emotional state. For example, the root of disorders like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, which involve emotional changes, can be the soul getting lost in the lower dimensions. Protection from the lower dimensions. From childhood, we have energies we feel thanks to the codes written into our consciousness and our emotions. During meditation, a past traumatic memory can come from our subconscious. If that memory has affected you negatively, the entities you'll see in that dimension of that emotion will do everything they can to keep you in that layer. These entities attach themselves to your consciousness and drain the life energy they need from you. My best advice when you enter this realm is to remain unresponsive. Fighting with them can cause problems for you. Interacting with their fear responses with your own fear will pull you into even lower dimensions. If you trust your experience, you can remain unresponsive and wait until the emotional effect of that experience on you lessens. Higher dimensions, the key to the future. Now let's move on to the higher dimensions. I can say that these dimensions are the portals you need to achieve success in your life. By opening a portal to the higher dimensions with your consciousness, you can go to the dimension of the information you want. Not only do you get information, but you also feel renewed and experience activated energies thanks to the clean energy flowing into your consciousness. Just like in the movie Lucy, you start using the full potential of your consciousness. In these dimensions, you see an event you want to happen in the future as if it has already happened and receive the energies of that time through your emotions. What you think and what you imagine will come true as long as you do it with a high frequency. During this process, you can move ahead of time and experience the already happened version of an event that has not yet occurred. The energy of every emotion you imagine will flow into your consciousness. Then, without you realizing it, time and space will be coded into your mind and transferred to your reality. This is the power of consciousness. Conclusion. I hope this information sheds light on your own inner journey. Remember, the most powerful tool for shaping your reality is your very own consciousness. After all we've learned, what is reality really? Is it just a reflection of the consciousness we're in, or is it just a small part of a bigger game? And finally, when we become aware of the codes that limit our consciousness, do we choose to break these codes and move to a higher level of consciousness, or do we continue to live within the safe boundaries of this virtual reality we're used to? After this in-depth journey, if topics like spiritual awakening and the rise of consciousness want to have a bigger place in your life, you're now at a moment of decision. If you wish for this journey to continue, you have an option in front of you. You can either determine a special starting moment for this experience on your own, or you can start this journey with us. Whichever path you choose, we want you to know that we are always by your side and we respect your choice. If you want to take us with you on this journey, the subscribe button is waiting for your decision. Remember, the most powerful tool for shaping your reality is your very own consciousness. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.